Hey everyone, it's Gus here, and well, we survived another year. And I don't think I need to tell you how terrible 2020 was. I kinda explained that in the outburst I had at the beginning of my last video, how much of a hellhole the world is. If there's a certain topic you want to hear about, I'll leave some timestamps on the screen for you to skip to. Alright, here we go. So, what have I been up to in 2020? Well, as you all know, since 2019, I've been part of the Drive-In Mutants live streams. Every Saturday, you can watch me, Morgan, Cody, and James riff a movie of our choosing live for your enjoyment. You can see us do that on twitch.tv/HighMaytude every Saturday at 11 PM Eastern Standard Time or 8 PM Pacific Standard Time. I also finally did get back to work on new episodes of Nostalgia Kid with the start of MST3K Week Year 2, a project that's been in the works since December 2019. No joke, the B-roll for the DVDs episode was shot near the end of 2019. Writing the new videos in 2020 was a bit difficult given the burnout that happened with the Scooby-Doo videos and the several amounts of writer's block that's happened for many months. But then it just so happens that Morgan proposed the idea of a co-review for the two of us. Originally, we were going to talk about the Ace Ventura movies, and Morgan was crazy enough to take the 8-hour drive from his house all the way to mine to film the video. But two things happened. The first was, as you all know, the COVID-19 pandemic. This really hindered us meeting up to work on this video, and it was really sad for me because I would have loved to meet Morgan in person. Certainly didn't help that I was planning to meet Stevie at a convention, which hasn't happened in almost 5 years for the both of us. But of course, that didn't happen either. The second thing that happened was the tragic death of Joel Schumacher, and we wanted to do something to pay tribute to him. So we put the Ace Ventura co-review on the back burner until further notice, and decided to do Batman Forever. A movie that, as longtime viewers of my content would know, I already talked about. But of course, most of my old episodes are cringy and very different compared to how episodes are constructed now. So I figured I'd revisit this one for a co-review, and it turned out to be one of my favorites I worked on. After that, Morgan had the idea of Vaulting Across Time, which was a 5-part miniseries that goes across space and time featuring reviews from himself, Cody, James, myself, and finally, back to Morgan. My segment for that series was finished almost at the very last minute, with the writing taken a week before the debut, voiceovers, live action segments, and editing done almost 48 hours before the premiere. I even pulled an all-nighter just to get it done. But doing those videos gave me the inspiration on working on new episodes again. I already had the first 3 installments of MST3K Week written, but it was already halfway through July, and I didn't want to rush the last 3 videos. So, rather than having people wait longer than they already were, I decided to split Year 2 into 2 parts. The first half would already be finished, while the second half will come out later on. Sure, the date for the final video for Part 1 came out later than expected, but I'm glad I got these 3 finished to close out 2020. But to be honest, my favorite video to make last year was easily the cover of Every Country Has a Monster as part of Curse of Project Halloween. Sure, it made me exhausted, it made my editing software crash on me a grand total of 4 times. I'm still glad we did this and now it's part of a huge project, especially to work on something fun during that horrible year. Which leads us to 2021. What are my plans this year? Well, for starters, finishing up Part 2 of MST3K Week Year 2, I already made a teaser promo not that long ago teasing what the next 3 videos will be. I'm also excited that the last video for MST3K Week will be the 100th episode of Nostalgia Kid. That's just crazy to think. I've done this for over 8 years and I'm hitting a huge milestone like 100. It's crazy and overwhelming to think about. And looking back at older episodes, especially after the Batman Forever co-review for Vaulting, I saw some that were very cringy and some that I wish I could have covered a bit better. So after episode 100, I want to try an experiment where I go back to some old episodes and revisit them. It won't be all the old episodes, but just a few I want to give a fresh take. Mainly because I didn't like that much of the detail I went into them, and as a content creator you probably won't like any of your older videos to any degree. And please note that this doesn't mean that the old videos are going to be deleted or anything like that, no, not at all. I'm just going back to revisit a couple and redo my thoughts on them, especially for those that are gone due to old streaming platforms being shut down like Santa with Muscles or the Son of the Mask episodes. Finally, to clarify, just because I'm going back to some of the movies I've already done, that doesn't mean I'm running out of new ideas or movies for new videos. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about. thank you all so much for being incredibly patient for new content. And as I said earlier, you can see me on the Drive-In Mutants live streams every Saturday over at twitch.tv/HiMetude. Tune in for more updates on future content either on the YouTube channel, the Vimeo page, or on my Facebook or Twitter. But until then, please remember to stay safe, and I'll see you next time.